Hello. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hello, Gumbo. Not guilty indeed. Hope everyone's doing well today. I'm just trying to deal with something here. Give me a second. What have you been doing today, Gumbo? Fuck all. It seems reasonable. Hopefully you at least had a good time doing so. Alright, sorry about that. So I guess we're moving on to the next one. Which Newbie said is quite short, so thank the girl. Let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I'll kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Bang. I'm reading through the file on an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Terry Falls, charged kidnapping and murder. Sentenced death penalty. For escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. He captured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before me and I ever met. Is he in the hospital? Six years earlier, Mia Fey first trial. So wait, do we just get tutorial number 2? Ugh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. Never should have accepted this case. Eek! Ah. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing. I swear I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago and now a prison escapee. Feel like I'm gonna die. Someone's gonna die. Well, I mean, she died, but 6 years, well, I guess 5 years later? Something like that. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? Oh good. Eek! I'm sorry. The fact that he's trying to eat the iron ball, kind of impressive. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Ugh, sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyways, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Okay. Nick! I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago. But I was tricked, I tell you. A woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear, I didn't kill her. I can never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. About 8 hours later, a policeman was murdered before the police could recapture him. Police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Oh no, he's hot! Gumbo, avert your eyes! Gumbo, did you avert your eyes? You might go into hyper gay. It's a game where bullshitting your way through the trial? Yep. Remember, no spoilers. You're not gonna figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. Oh, I accidentally clicked off screen. Anyways, Milo, how you doing? Thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where's Mr. Grossberg? Good, I don't want to listen to his friggin' hemorrhoids. Not spoiling, it's just no, I know. I'm just giving a reminder. Also, I can't believe I actually managed to get away with the tags this time. Like I can't believe the word shag is allowed. Good, nice. What have you been up to today? Ha! That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Okay. I did some streaming. Oh, I didn't know you streamed. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. So, Godo's real name is Diego? I played COD Mobile. I feel like that would be very frustrating to play for some reason. Might see some more later. Alright. Hopefully I'll be able to make it and check it in. Just to see. I didn't say... So Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. An escaped death row convict for first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Ha, relax. I just heard some good news. Prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. I do. Totally not a sweat, I promise. Everybody's a sweat at something. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time we tatted and kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. Totally don't have... Is that more than usual or less than usual? Also, COD's a gotcha game now? Solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. It's hard to get? Oh, okay. Oh, it's a skill-based gotcha. I see. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Oh, I'm facing young Edgeworth? Holy shit. Wait, isn't this the Canadian judge? Or something? Basically just called, did he vote for phone? Ah. I'm considering getting the Android VM, the Android virtual machine, just to try like streaming I don't know, like Cookie Run Kingdom or something. Is this in the past? Yes. Because Mia's still alive. I guess spoilers for the very first trial of the entire series. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers? Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. Oh, so this is... No, this is pre-Phoenix Wright Edgeworth. This is when he's a cocky bastard. So you knew the prosecutor everyone was talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Not the cocky bitch. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. Wait, do I have anything on a court record? Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5. The defendant is not on trial for escape from prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. You can see when it was there? Kinda. You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Hey, Shred. Him saying kitten is kind of weird. Yeah. Because she's her little she's his little Discord kitten. I felt wrong saying that. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Never really good. I'm sorry. Anyway, Shred, what have you been up to today? And how, did I ever ask how you're doing? In any case, how are you doing? Correct, but in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. Might stream when you're done so you can raid me? Okay, I'll try. Just shoot me reminders in case. She says she witnessed Mr. Falls throw this young victim his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Mrs. Hawthorne's testimony was the one who put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be exactly the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Ah, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago. With only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, yes. Quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Wait a minute, that's not right. I'll at least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word of choice or your tone of voice. Hey, that rhymed. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why you? You're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Gumshoe? Gumshoe in a beige coat. I don't know why that was just kind of weird to me. Witness, state your name and occupation. So basically, fuck me up. I know a lot of people who would want to, but she's not my cup of tea. Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. I'm in charge of the homicide detective in charge, or I'm the homicide detective in charge of this case, sir. Finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anybody about. Oh, I don't believe anybody asked you about that. Not in the way. Yeah, I know. I was just messing with you. No, if. Yeah, definitely not my cup of tea. My preference is like the nerdy girls, you know, glasses at like a slight tilt, like some nerdy things like games and anime and stuff. Hey ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Nice. Nice 3-streak shred. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. Much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. All muscular women, totally not saying that because I'm dating one I've been for a while now. I mean, if you're into jocks, you're into jocks. There's no issue with it. I mean, if you're into jocks, you're into jocks. Different strokes for different folks, but no blasting. Well, obviously no blasting of different personality types and body types and all that kind of stuff. Like, I personally prefer a little bit of squish, just because of huggability. Sorry. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. All I care about is personality. I do too, but to put it as nice as possible. You can have a really good cake, but sometimes the icing is just added onto it, you know? It's one of the reasons I became a VTuber. I'm an okay vanilla cake, but the icing looks like shit. This is sketchy. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. His car? He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Okay. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor? Small bridge, then why didn't they fall? You listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you will be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I was some hoser. He is Canadian, he used hoser. It's the Canadian judge. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. So, give me a second. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Wait, is Diego a tea guy? On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Criminals stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, will the defense please hurry up and proceed with their cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination, coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. Okay, so he is a coffeeholic still. I'm not trembling. Yeah, it's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright. Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner here. Ha. You got me there. Maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you got, kitten. Fuck. Not sure how I feel about him constantly saying kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stay up all night, all last night watching. I don't know either, Milo. Any incidents, unknown person. Okay. This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. He left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, the top secret memo that she left in her desk. You just bring this up as it happens. Falls at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? I think the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's the detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? That cute face. I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. And then they no. Sergeant Hawthorne went to the Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. A bridge up in the mountains. But why meet there? It was a very important place to defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne's arrested and handcuffed. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Ha! Right to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. That's where she was brutally murdered. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah. We were really on the ball. Found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, "Don't move. We've got you surrounded." Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? Location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. He never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but She left a note on her desk about it. Only I had noticed it earlier. Maybe she'd still be alive. Wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. Criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up the mountains. Way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. I smell some bullshits. Maybe? It looks like the car's lock was broken. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. I want to see something. I was thinking there would have been something to do with this lower left area. If she was stabbed... Oh, wait. Was she stabbed in the back or the front? In the back. Okay. The only thing I noticed is the broken lock, but that's about it. Didn't they say they met up? Yeah? I don't know how that changes anything. Yeah. Ha. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. Talking about a woman here. How could he stab her? Stab her back when they say meet up? True, she was facing him. But I guess there could have been like an altercation where she got spun around or something. I'm sure we'll figure that out. Can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. Condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. Who knows, Milo? Well, we'll get to there, I guess. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says... sorry. I told a little lie. Came back home from the D&D campaign I'm in? Hell yeah. I'm guessing you play a Mer Elf or you play a different character. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. I play an elf druid? Ah. My very first character I ever played in Dungeons & Dragons was a elf fire wizard who had a pet owl. It was quite cool. Precisely some impressive police work. Well, no, actually it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. It takes approximately 30 minutes to go from bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Any later, Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Wait, fine. Let me try to solve this part. If I'm struggling, then you can pipe in. A good time he was there? No, if that fits between the autopsy report. The character has a curse that turns anything it touches gray, so she's slowly becoming fully gray. Just color-wise, or like stone? There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. Fuck. Meet at 4:30 at that bridge where White's... Wait. She's not wearing a scarf. That's what it was. Witness. Wow, that died quickly. What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Is this guy trying to flirt with me? The gray has different effects on different people. Ah. What kind of effects? Candy. Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Yeah. Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take a look at, you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note very clearly says, wear a white scarf for identification. Color must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus the special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? Can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Oh. One dude that turned into a flesh monster after my character accidentally grabbed their hand with their gray hand. Uh-oh. So what's your character's goal? To reverse the curse or find a way to utilize it? Sorry. Caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so that I expect she did just that. Characters. Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about all this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching for so desperately for. Is it this one, perchance? It's blue. Ah. Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why? Why didn't you tell me? Just slowly going crazy from it, is what I'm understanding. Oh boy, I hate playing with, like, mental afflictions. There's so difficult to find a workaround for it. So he's basically Phoenix in this? No, Mia is Phoenix. Why? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. Not exactly white, as the caller requested. But as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. Looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. I mean, oh, you mean he's, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's stealing in this universe. Because so many people do it. Prosecutors and defense attorneys alike. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Wow. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively, and with Harvard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Ugh, everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten. There's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. But then she's in the middle. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It's about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. How, though, to which? Edgeworth. Who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Aha, a potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on the bridge. He was facing her. How did he push her? That's the thing. I don't know. My main issue is the way they are on the bridge. Because she was standing in the middle and he was standing off to the side. The bridge is partially broken on one side, so... Aha, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, I'm gonna just see what's... Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. Female college student. That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. But what is that supposed to mean? Prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. Female college student, eh? That means she's female and a college student, sir. You absolutely must hear her testimony. You'll have to give us a good reason why. Ugh. The victim is wearing a scarf in the photo, right? So, about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. There were so many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Now that you mention it. This photo. This cloudy fog-like thing. Is that a ghost? I don't believe it. No, Your Honor. No. I don't think it's a ghost. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Haha. Looks like a cold front just moved in. Poor Gumshoe, that was a good joke. In any case. One is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Dude, if I fell and slipped on a rope bridge, I would probably be shitting myself. We all love Gumshoe, Milo. I don't think there's anybody in the community who hates Gumshoe. Anyway, the victim shoved the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. He's funny, he's personable, he's a romantic. He's just an overall great character, but I hear after this game, he's not in any of the, well, besides the Miles Edgeworth games, he's not in any of the other games. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back, and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you push someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Brutal. Ah, shit, I say it like that. Fuck. Hold on, I need to do something here. I'm Canadian, yeah. Give me a second. I need to do a funny. Give me a second. Images, downloads. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna post this meme to the Discord. I don't know why that was interesting. Oh man, that's great. I'm sorry. Ha. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. What the fuck? Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. I have to label them all? No. I just wanted to do that one face because it's Canadian. Oh, wait. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. Armando is weird? Yeah. From what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but there's something about his testimony that's still bothering me. Alright, I think I know where the contradiction is. Do I present this one? Hold on. Fuck. Wearing the scarf. Fuck. Try it? No, the music will stop if I get it right. If it keeps going, then that means I got it wrong. I feel like there's because I know there's something wrong with this photo. It just. Fuck. What do I do? Is there something that's off with her outfit that I'm not... I feel like... I keep looking at it, but it feels like something's wrong. I don't see a hat. 4 buttons in the front, a belt. Okay, I guess you can't tell the collar with the... Is it the hat? No, it's the hat. So at the time of the crime, there was light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this is the photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? Actually, the answer is right around here, I think. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Seems to me that Miss Faye could use a trunk herself. What? Well, now she could hide all her bitter memories from this trial, and that is. You truly are a genius. A genius of sarcasm and wordplay. Oops. I think I really put my foot in my mouth that time. What? Just relax. Lick your wounds clean and then go after him again, kitten. No matter how bitter the memory, it can never be as bitter as dark black coffee. Ugh, Mia, you've got to think harder this time. Now then, let me ask you one more time. What is about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit? What? It's not the hat. No, I clicked on the top of her head. Or at least close to. I'm confused. I got the right evidence, but the wrong idea. They mentioned a light drizzle, but... is it just the coat? Could it be the lock? No, because I wouldn't mention it. Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? Okay, so it is the coat. As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Call the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. And the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge. Oh. It was the fact that she got pushed down. And the front of her coat would have been covered in mud. Oh. That's exactly right. Excuse me. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. Fuck's sake. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street. Your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet, but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? Surface of the bridge, huh? Ah, a real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Actually, the scarf. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. The evidence is the scarf. Ah. It'd be obvious. The scarf fell into the bridge and got this muddy. It means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Ugh. No, it can't be. I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Hey, same to you, buddy. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what this explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Ah. You're doing pretty well. Good evening and or other time of day, good streamer. How are you doing? Enjoying the game so far? Yeah. I've been enjoying this really well. I'm getting stumped on some weird things, but I'm overall doing well. Anyways, how's it going, Battle Fries? Sorry, I don't know why the name Battle Fries just kind of staggered me a bit there. I want to lay down and just do fucking nothing tonight. Stressful day, Severed. If you need to take the day off for modding, you can. Got a favorite case so far in this game? I'm doing fine. In just this game or in the trilogy? Hmm. Trying to think. Maybe the one involving there's two that come straight to mind. It's Phoenix, the first one with where you're trying to save Edgeworth. My 10-minute commute turned into 80 minutes because of the bus strikes and a broken down semi block in both. Wow. Wait, the bus strikes are blocking the lanes? Okay, so yeah, the only ones I can think of battle fries is uh the case where you're defending Edgeworth, and I think it's the second game with, and I don't know why this one stuck out to me, but the one where you had to defend the fuck, what's her name? The office look. Fuck. The office looking lady that had like a mental breakdown because of her mentor. Two separate reasons for major traffic. Oh, I see. Also, how's it going, Uni? Thanks for the hydrant posture check. No, she wasn't a defendant. It was she was just involved. I think the defendant in that one was, I believe his name was On Guard. I think. I think it was a good learning, good as dark as it fucking was. I think it was a good learning. The one time where you had to yeah, the one time. But I think overall that was a pretty good case, despite how dark it is. Give me a second. I have like a piece of tuna on my or piece of cheese on my keyboard. There we go. Okay. I thought I turned my keyboard off. The case in this game so far, to be honest, not very memorable. I mean that the fake Phoenix was okay, but a lot of the characters of that one were not really likable. Everybody knows in this sniper long distance between targets. Everybody knows. Like if I put a poll up right now, I bet you everybody in this chat room would vote Gumshoe as best character. Every other character, I mean, like the several gay people in chat, newbie, Gumbo, Sphinx, all fucking love Godo and his coffee sex music. I would intentionally skew the poll. I know. Oh, Gamble Cat Cam. Let's see if he's here. Where is Cat Cam? Oh, there it is. And it's not functional. Shit. Can someone refund Milo, please? Actually, to make up for it, I'll do something else so that because we do have a new person here. Pet pics. Where is Toasty Heem? Sorry, just pulling out my favorite image. One of my new favorite images of him. On mobile at the moment. All right. Then Gumbo can, if Gumbo's still here.
I fell down.
Just readjusting things. And Happy Cat. There we go. Anyways, I never got to ask Prize. What's your favorite case? Have you tried Frost Train yet? I don't know what Frost Train is. Is that a game? Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. Well, leave in the game recommendations if you think I might enjoy it. Either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Well, my train of frost. Damn it, Uni, that's actually kind of good. You move the Snowpiercer first? It sounds familiar. I don't know. I don't watch very many movies. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? False evidence. It's one of those three. What did you say just now? I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was a coffee aficionado over there that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. False evidence in this case is the... I want to say it's the picture, just because it's the positioning of the people. Well, the photo that the prosecution claims was taken by a witness. It only seems to show a man in a prison uniform and a woman in a coat. However, we can't tell any more than that from the photo. Are you saying that the people in the photo may not be the victim or the defendant? Well, there's certainly a possibility. So perhaps it was another prisoner and policewoman. I admit people have their quirks. Perhaps they were part of a role-playing group. Well, I suppose that's also possible. I guess. Messed up again. Fuck! Yeah. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it is the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. The testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. Ha! It's not just true, it's the truth. There was truly a decisive witness in this case. I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called him in the first place. Your Honor, defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Ah, fuck. Everyone is so silent I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. They're called Timbits developers. Get it right. But yeah, we do call it a double-double up here. Which means 2 creams, 2 sugars. Or if you're preferably on the sweet side, it's a triple. 3 sugars, 3 creamer. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Hey, not so fast. Yeah. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Fay, you can learn a lot from this man. It's 4 French vanilla creamer and 1 to 2 sugars. I'm a triple guy myself. I prefer my coffee sweet and creamy. Like I can't stand, because oftentimes like people overdo it. It ends up tasting metallic. Yes, it's possible to burn coffee and tea, and so many people do it quite often. I hate that woman. I do too. Miss Fay. Alright, I already said that. He's such a gentleman. He sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir? Hey, yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. No. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. Milo, we call them shrimps. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you're the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? No, it's... No worries, Milo. No worries. What? How can you be so mean? Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? It's just a photograph. It's not like if something is dangerous. Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Oh, fuck me. Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this has taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be... Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fay. Oh, the character's name, but why do I feel like this character is going to be that one woman from the Shield Hero anime? I've never watched that. Is Rising of the Shield Hero good? Stop shrimping him, men. I like. I don't know why that got me. I see. So you are. Sorry, give me a second. Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I heard and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe that the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. And that causes an issue because there's a ridge blocking it. I'm standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. We took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Ho ho, what a cute camera. Just like its owner. Fucking creepy judge. You're Canadian, get your shit together. Alright then, Miss Faye. Time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Fuck. How tall is it? Like she's by. That's kind of what I was thinking. Is my keyboard dead? I pressed that like 6 times before it did anything. Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom. No, not at all. Everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them. Especially just as they were. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. I gotta step back. Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. But it's only February. Oh, I couldn't wait for spring to come. Oh, I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I couldn't just wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Huh. Would you mind if we go back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? Okay, so that was nothing. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that? Oh, I just thought maybe you overheard what they said. Ah, fuck. I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that. That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Fuck me sideways. I know who she is, and I hate her all the more. So hurt. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Did she say she was listening herself? I don't know. Sounds like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. You know I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So you wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was use my all I could do was to use my camera. You didn't need the two there. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. And right after that, I called the police. You called the police? Yes. It looked to me like a murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? Mary Falls isn't the criminal. Must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Careful, kitten. That girl has a judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're gonna have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. Well, there is the cliffside. So I think her positioning was right. It's just that... I don't know. There's no cliff on the other side. I guess we try this? Okay. Witness. When you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? Sorry, give me a second. All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them start to fight. Oh, I guess it's the order of things happening. Normally that's the kind of thing we refer to as a crucial moment. Why would you present a photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. So I'm checking some on my phone. I've been very much into fucking Cookie Run Kingdom as of late. Keep getting fucking notifications from it though. The photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to catch the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Dope. My apologies, young lady. Mr. Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. You can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? No, I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film. This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. Witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, the camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. Seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. But wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you can tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incidents you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. Ha. Looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. Okay, so there's more information now. The victim? Why do you think she tried to run away? The police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Quaggy? Why you? I need to search up what quaggy means. Flabby or soft? Oh. Why you? If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. There's still something wrong with his testimony. I got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her. That seems to make sense. I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Ah, does it now? You have a good sixth sense. If you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. I think now this is why the positioning comes into play. Witness, your testimony is a joke. What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say that there were two contradictions? It's simple. Let's take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, we would have had a dead end. Okay, guys, give me a second. I just have to take something. Actually, let me. Now I have to disable left click or right click. Because Dusky Bridge has collapsed on that side. Oops. I accidentally skipped the other one. Ah! What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. The charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This is beautiful. The young lady has been lying to the court? Oh, this beautiful lying. Words are hard. Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove out the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous. You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Ah, that guy is good. Huh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward. Well, Miss Fay, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go with the trial? I'd like to establish, once and for all, what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. Alright, young lady. I ask you to please proceed with your testimony. But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. But she couldn't have seen the car, there's a cliff in the way. You couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts his testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really good mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. Ah, that's what I like to hear. Alright, Ms. Faye, your cross-examination, if you please. Contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Actually, maybe she did fall. Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If it was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. Yeah, no need to be so rude. Well, young lady? Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prisoner uniform grabbed her before she could. Ha! We're one step too slow. And then, what did the defendant do after that? Then he carried her over to the car. You personally witnessed that? Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not. But that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. I mean, the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were all on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to carry a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. Couldn't just leave the body empty. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Do anything more to hide the corpse wouldn't be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo up there. You know those monks. They just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Do you think an XCOM movie could work? Yes, but not the way you think. It would basically be your generic, because sorry, let me rephrase it. As a whole, I could see that moreover XCOM 2 being a movie other than XCOM 1. Mainly because the story is a little bit more movie-like, if that makes sense. It's hard to put into words. Because XCOM 1 has multiple endings, and the fluidity of the gameplay and the overarching story allows for that kind of thing, whereas with XCOM 2, it's either you win or you don't. And I think the story's a bit there, but the problem is that with the pace of the game, I believe so. I could be misremembering things. But practically, like you'd think it would basically be like about like maybe like a sub team of XCOM, or maybe the main combat force being like Shen, Bradford, and Tigan. I think it's Tigan. Like it would have to be focused around their endeavors, because they're a little bit more fleshed out characters. Or alternatively, a single combat team. They would basically have to kind of remove the commander from the picture, just because, well, first of all, silent protagonist is kind of hard to write for without anybody hating it. Secondly, they're being kind of an avatar, or like a commander who just sits and guides other people. It doesn't really make for a compelling plot line. You'd have somebody to like actually be like on the field and actiony and actually doing stuff. Like, yeah, like the commander becomes the avatar in the final mission. Sorry, spoilers. But unless you count that one scene in XCOM 2. Yes and no. I know I just did heavy spoilers, but I believe you were there when I was doing XCOM 2 initially. So spoilers for XCOM 2. You have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, the commander is the commander is basically the overarching hero. I was about to forget it all. The commander is quote unquote the overarching hero because so much stuff happened to him, and you know all this stuff, but he wouldn't make a very good like protag for an XCOM movie. Maybe, like I said, unless he was more boots to ground involved. Like the rebellion overthrowing the aliens would make a really good story if done correctly. I like discovering the black site and all that jazz. Although maybe it's too many, because yeah, there's the black site and then there's the gates. And I'm not talking DLCs here. DLCs would just make the entire plot line of the movie just absolutely fuck busted. But there's too many like side plot lines that would make the movie confusing as well. Yeah, exactly. Wasn't there like let me Google search something. Wasn't there something interesting about like the speaker? No, not the speaker. What's his name? What the fuck was his name? The spokesman, that's what it was. You can actually get the like the spokesman voice actor on Fiverr. I think it's Fiverr. John Bailey. What else did John Bailey do? Where's behind the voice actor? There was something interesting that he also did. Get upset because that's not what the commander does. It would be a whole thing. That's the entire problem of giving. And this, I know this is gonna be a fucking shit raised issue when it comes to the Legend of Zelda live action movie. Is that giving a silent protagonist a voice and a personality comes at a heavy cost. Apparently, John Bailey was also in God of War, Persona 5 Tactica, Detective Pikachu. He's voiced several of the Transformers, including Optimus Prime. But yeah, I as interesting as the Legend of Zelda live action movie would be, it would come at a heavy cost. Because well, to be honest, Breath of the Wild kind of fleshed out his character a little bit. Because there's a diary in Breath of the Wild that explains like Zelda's interactions with Link, in that like she discovered why he was silent, and also that like he was actually kind of a bit of a glutton, which kind of it made sense in terms of both gameplay and already developed character for Link. The native XCOM 1 as the first alien to speak English just describes the small details of the history of the aliens on their own planets. It just felt like a great end to... I don't remember that. It's been a very, very long while since I played XCOM 1. Well, yeah. If they keep Link silent, though, I would be interested to see how Nintendo would work with that. Like, sure, yeah, you can... Because that's one of the reasons why I like Wind Waker so much, is because Link is expressive. I hope Final plays XCOM on stream again. Maybe. But I wonder if there's ever been like a silent protagonist in a movie that's been done well. I gotta search that up later. Oh, well, let me actually search it up now, and then I'll look at it later. Okay, so apparently that's the first thing that comes up is silent protagonist movies, and there's only 4. Oh, no, there's a lot more than 4. No. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. It's very interesting guys showing motion. Their face covered by a mask. Yeah, because most of it boils down to voice in that regard. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. And you're absolutely certain it was my client who was carrying the body. Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face... So you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face? Well, they were far away and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent. A remarkably honest young woman. I'm gonna say it's this one. What? Oops. He has their arms a lot when they talk in the original Spider-Man movie. They have him take his mask off a lot in the newest Spider-Man. His mask has eyes that move real wide or thin for motion. To be honest, Spider-Man 2 kinda did that, but not clearly defined enough. But oh well, when it comes to superheroes, yeah, it boils primarily down to voice. Which is why they try to have actors who have particularly memorable voices. Like, just imagine how... Rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried. He was an amazing actor. Imagine, like, Deadpool, Gilbert Gottfried's voice for Deadpool. That would be hilarious. But it would also convey, like, differently set emotions. Different actors have different like, tones to their voice to convey different emotions. Killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. It was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out that something interesting about the river. Those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay. But I must admit that it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Ooh. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, how sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact that this is what the killer did, none of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. It's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Ugh. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who is he talking about? Alright, I'll do my best. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. Killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body there. Witness speaking malarkey. We'll see that. You couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about it. This is the new piece, I think. What did the man do then? Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. So that's when you called the police? You said that you saw all that with your own eyes. Yes, I'm 100% certain. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among... Alright, listen. Yeah, but I would have to present this just because of the cliff. I'll just do this just in case because it shows a cliff. The primary thing is that the cliff is in the way. That's what keeps tripping me up here. And I'm thinking this is what it is. Oh, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. Crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes. And? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you have claimed to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rocks is directly in the way. Ah. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. Ah! I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I am so sorry, but the dust doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? It's the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ah. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but you still claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No. Order in the court. What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? No one in Canadian says ballyhoo. Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh. Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to the witness here. What? That's not fair. Ah. Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando. Don't look back until the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Stop saying kitten. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. Yeah, usually uni, but this entire case is a fucking sham. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Aha. Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're gonna have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. Are they all an Ace Attorney? I mean, that's what I'm playing. I'm certain there were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? The judge is on her side. Can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? Melissa Foster. Looks like you finally betrayed yourself. I gotta take a drink. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. Question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Thanks for the posture check. Oh, body making so much cracking noises. I'm like Pop Rocks. Finally got her. Ha! I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. And perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. There's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... I don't know. She put the corpse in herself. Actually, I'm going to say it before I do the joke. Pop rocks hurt when I eat them. That's why I leave my tongue sticking out, because it's always fun. She put the corpse in herself. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes? What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the... Wait, is this the real answer or am I getting cornered again? The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was... Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. Was... Meme answer was the right answer? It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk. He would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Preposterous. To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could have only been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. We already know that at the time, she was taking photographs. The timer. How's a chance, Mia? Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is that the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Mr. Foster, by Miss Foster herself. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, and even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? And when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, she really did use the camera's auto timer. The answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. But the defense plan explain this further. Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? Sorry. In answering that question, we'll also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred on the bridge? She has to have been by the car? That's the thing, I don't know. 'Cause here's my thinking. Yes, she could have been by the car. However, is she where the victim was? No, she couldn't have crossed the river, but what if she was where the victim was? Because the coat, the victim's coat was, like the actual victim's coat was dry. And yet in the picture she's standing out in the rain. So that means there's only, because for sure it's the guy in the prison uniform and one other person. So it would have to be the victim, wouldn't it? Naturally, the witness was right here. Did I do it? But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order, order, order. Miss Fay, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. The little car flying away. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Miss Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on that bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. The defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. Well, since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You were just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Mm-hmm. No! Dead. She's dead, that's good, amen. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Huh. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. Defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. Oh. That explains the missing hat and scarf on why Edgeworth had it. Yeah. Newbie said it was a short... Oops. Newbie said it was a short... what's it called? A short case. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word case. Let's say I've been live for 2 hours and a bit. You know what? I'm just gonna go and see if we can get stuff going. If this goes for a long while, I'm sorry, guys. Mr. Falls, eek! I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime... Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information. Right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. I need to get set stream up? Alright. It might be like an additional hour, maybe even 2. Depending on how this second half, a second half, I guess. Could be like another third. If there's an additional part to this, I'm not gonna do it tonight. But I'll do this part. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. Kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay. I trust you. That day 5 years ago, I dream of it. Every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks same, just like then. 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. It's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Ah, sorry buddy, but you sound like that one, sound like the one that could fall apart at all. I see. It's true, I did. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend. Dahlia Hawthorne. Your girlfriend, huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl, let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not gonna get the chance. Detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel. Creepy. Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I'd do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. Send to her dad. Lexi once realized he's gonna adopt and cuddle a puppy. Yeah. We asked for $2 million diamonds. I'll make exchange on Dusky Bridge. You tell him Valerie to make transfer because she's new detective. I think a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman. That woman, Valerie, she'd do it for real. She'd shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. I was shot in the arm. Dahlia, she jumped in river. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, did you? Do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like. So I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear an answer come from her mouth. That's all. So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls. Where is it? It's so hard to get money next comp too. Early game, yes. Mid to late game, you get lots of resources. Just make sure you have connections all over the place. Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. I've been talking because my mic don't work on phone and I've been... No worries, no worries. No one should ever be forced to talk. To be honest with you, as soon as I raid though, I'm probably not going to be staying for very long. Just because I am kind of tired. It's 8:45 here. Not sure how much longer this is going to go for, but... I'll definitely leave a lurk and I'll try my best to raid you. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? Want me to start stream? I mean, you start stream whenever you want. I shouldn't have any bearing on what you stream, when you stream, etc. Sorry, that being said, I want to check something. I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really. I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia. That day, on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. I look it on my PCs with mine so it works? Okay. Now gone with Dahlia. Gone forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Solid by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? Guess you were rubbing crayons before diamonds. This is fucking creepy as shit now. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. Man, oh man. Angels these days. Falls takes the fall. Gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel or is she really a... It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. The training wheels come off now, Mia. Gotta strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Your motive, huh? I forget that's what I had to establish next. Ms. Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. Ha. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando, listen. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me. May I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click. Lights right up. Very well then. Let's hear what the witness has to say. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I'd never been to Eagle Mountain before. I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. All your grudge in killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago, or kidnapping a poor girl, I think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Everything is working? Cool. Glad to hear. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Throw up those clothes and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. So, what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed, it was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification. What kind of sob story is this? What should I do? Should I press her for details? Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. The country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is... Oh. I lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. So I can never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just said stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. Actually, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. You didn't know either person? Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. No, that can't be helped. Why is he disagreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? First time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes. It really was a coincidence. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. What made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look that much of a hiker to me. But you look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no train runs through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with a college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? Prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond with questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you. She's really gone too far. Miss Faye. You're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. So they don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, all that's... Fortunate, Miss Faye. Your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? Witness claims the police station wants to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at the time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget what that horrible day. Holding a grudge and killing an officer who testified you against 5 years ago. A grudge. The policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. The client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client. You forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I'd been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with the last statement? Have it added? Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. Prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why I... Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I'd accidentally worn a white scarf like he said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando, keep looking around you and you're gonna lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. She wouldn't have known about the white scarf. My stream says this. There was a network error. Please try again. Error 2000. It's usually like it's usually connectivity between the Twitch stream and the The either the Twitch stream and a viewer, or a Twitch and a Twitch stream and the broadcaster. Usually, all you have to do is refresh it, unless like it continuously pops up. Melissa shouldn't have known what. She should have said blue scarf. Because she only saw the blue scarf. She wouldn't have seen the white scarf. It keeps popping up, and there's a connectivity issue between the broadcaster and Twitch. I would recommend reconnecting Twitch to your OBS or whatever program you're using. I use mobile. I don't know what program you use to stream. Yeah, it would have to be the scarf, wouldn't it? Because she saw a blue scarf but said a white scarf, and she wouldn't have known otherwise if it was the Twitch side, I think. I've never streamed mobile, so I wouldn't know how to resolve that issue. Sorry. Maybe signing out and signing back in again? Witness, I want you to look at this photo you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wears identification. Give me a second. Elohim? Why are you puss? Hi, good boy. Why are you all wet? Were you outside? I gotta refluff the cat. Give me a second. When he gets wet, he really likes to be refluffed. Why are you soaking wet? Why are you tiny beef boy? Good boy. Ah, so you're talking about the scarf right here, eh? Yes, that's it. That's the scarf the policewoman was wearing. I've got her now. Just don't mess up. It's probably good. Okie-doke. But that's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. White? This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. It certainly doesn't look white to me. Oh. Well, it was foggy that day, and it was raining as well. It's not surprising that she mistook it for white. Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf. Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is because of the note, right? Witness, have you seen this note? Note? No, never. It's top secret evidence. There's no reason that you would have. I wonder about that. What do you mean? This note shows Mr. Fall's instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification. White scarf? Ah! Witness, you knew what this note said. It's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Well, Miss Foster? No! Why do you... Elohim, why do you man so many scritches? Give me a second, guys. Sorry, I had to share some purring with you guys. I hope that went through. Order, order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. Quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. I heard it. Okay, thank you guys. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? Elohim OP. Elohim is OP. He can make me do anything. He's a good boy, albeit slightly loud. Just hoping stream doesn't mess up. I wish you luck, Milo. That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... Would it be Dahlia Hawthorne? Maybe? And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne. I never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name right there. What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne. This fate must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead. Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes. She was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed. But was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought that she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off a dusky bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. The fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she'd be 19 now. Melissa Foster, I believe the same age you are. Even you couldn't. Miss Faye, you're not saying. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Ha, nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a three alarm fire. Unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit and run arsonist. I understand. Nani? If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth? Explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought that the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean? Yes. The prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Ha. Looks like the kid knew. You knew her true identity from the get-go. Wait, but then why? If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony. So he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see... Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? It was nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of the victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously on the scene of another murder. Like this judge isn't paying attention. That's very illegal to hide that fact. Exactly. Your Wi-Fi was the issue? Oh. You not play with like a wired connection? Be like notably good when you know for the fact they're right there. Yeah. Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crimes on an innocent witness, or client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. How dare you? Please, let's take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious. Her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I was winning, but somehow he turned it around on me. Ha. Need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. That wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Ha! What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course. Aren't I? No. You just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me. Yeah, the rashness of youth. How charming. Boy. This is coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? I was gonna say the diamond? But thinking about it, talk to Dahlia, tell her the whole, like there was a truth that Dahlia needed to, or was gonna have to say but couldn't. If that makes sense. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her that she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth. It was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt that she had to kill Dahlia. Or, that's the reason Dahlia felt that she had to kill Valerie. Fuck me. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. The light in the court, Miss Faye. What was so secret what was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things. Such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Ugh. Very well, I'll grant you your request for further testimony. I know it would be pain for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? Fuck, why is everybody so creepy? Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Bring on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. I want it work. Have you tried a wired connection between you? What do you use to record on your, or to do broadcasting through your phone? It's the Twitch app, right? My recommendation, instead of using the Twitch app, find some sort of mirroring software, or I don't want to say like a virtual screen recorder, but that'll record your phone to your computer, and then your computer can broadcast. That way it's taking less, because phones aren't built for recording. I don't know how the fuck to do that. I don't either, but I would just recommend Google searching. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. But I decided to change my identity and start a new life. Kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we are to believe after all that she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor. As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Miss Edgeworth got the jump on me again. Ha. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info, that ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. How the fuck am I supposed to prove that? I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You were tutoring him? Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. I really came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did you just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million? It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk. Fuck, that's huge. $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. Defendant demanded that her sister Valerie make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why do you think you wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If you ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. Only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. So Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at the moment. While Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second. And he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Bloodthirsty grin? Oh. Sorry, I need water. Sorry. In the next instant... I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. Jeez, 18 feet deep. That's 3 of me. Wait, I'm 6'3". It's 3 of me and 9 inches. And reinforcements show up, my troops grabbing the ropes and flying out of there. Yeah, I love that. Have you had the UFO interception yet? Where the UFO knocks the Avenger out of the sky? I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I'd been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. Crumbling bridge, nowhere to run, and then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. I did not fall asleep. I don't believe you. I'd have that happen once and ended my run. Yeah, you'll have at least once per run the UFO interception. It is incredibly hard. Just because there is no first of all, you have no real elevation. So any snipers are basically kaput. I survived, but I'm okay. And that's why you hid your identity? Yes. I only told my sister. Valerie Hawthorne, eh? Yeah, she's the only one who knew about me. Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years. I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes. My sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all of the paperwork would have been impossible. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could. It's a moment of truth for this witness too. Once the truth about the staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. Yeah, I don't blame you, Uni. When does she summon her next witness, the dead sister? Yeah. Where am I supposed to find the contradiction here? Well, even if she was pushed from behind, she would be going forward, wouldn't she? That's the only thing I could think of. Either that or hitting one of these cables. Maybe? Wasn't she his girlfriend? Yes. Not in her testimony, but I don't know how that's... Bridge remained unchanged for 5 years. Even if she was pushed, there's all these wires. I don't know. I'm just gonna go for the map and see if that actually works or not. Okay. Have a good night, Gumbo. Okay, so it was based on the direction? You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked the court to recall the condition of Dusty Bridge. Now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. Someone had pushed you from behind as you have claimed. Wait, how was she behind him now? Instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. What? Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. Ugh. You're right. If the events had occurred just as the witness had testified, then the defendants couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now, when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. This can't be serious. Order in the court. Seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. There's just no time to retreat. Fortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. When you're being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. It's because of these side wires, right? Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No! But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. Ah! More importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him, at point-blank range. Ugh. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. Ugh! Order, order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne. You jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? What? Why did it just play the fucking Furio Tigre noise? Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun in handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You're probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, witness had much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh? Then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. If a base has an enemy that you haven't encountered yet in XCOM 2, say that you have it. Oh yeah. For jumping into the rapids way back when, it would have to be the diamond. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her. The $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with a ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Give me a second here. I can't move myself again. Fuck. Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? Well, she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. Then she told her what she was planning to do. She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That was when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Who is that laughing at a time like this? Forgive me. It's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally. You have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. At 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, and one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? Well, the parasol like that. You can't prove evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Fey? I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Ha! Without evidence, the trial is over? We decided that. Mr. Armando. Come now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? You'd be the only one alive, right? Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes. We would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or there was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. And that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? Prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive. And you were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusty Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne, or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago she promised never ever betray each other. Terry? Dahlia. It's true. You are alive. You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. Tell the truth. The real truth. I believed in you. I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Dahlia. Allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness. Gah! Eek! I'm sorry. I apologize. Water. Please. Water. Can't talk. Need water. Ah. Well, I guess I'll have to make my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Thank you for the hydrate. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. Never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Fay, please proceed with your cross-examination. This is how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence. There's only one person who can stop it. You can, I think. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining. Already dark, too. Waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls? Eagle Mountain, that spot. Strong, strong memories. Why did he just climb up? Could it be he's hiding something here? He wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. Find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been in the blink of an eye. I watched my car from bridge. I never put no body in that car. You're watching the car? Gaming. How's it going? That bridge. Other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So, I was watching car. Yeah, what else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but... something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? What was on the other side of that broken bridge anyway? No one lives there. There's a small shrine up the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face. Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, why did you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry. I told a little lie. But the woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. We talked, then she left. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls. Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me the death penalty. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead. But you just saw that she isn't dead. Valerie talked to me on the bridge. Nothing left to live for. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. You can be so sure. It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman. It wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means the death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do whatever it is necessary to protect her. Won't you, Mr. Falls? That was obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing her. Mr. Falls. Even if you could show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a good defense lawyer, I guess. See, this is the one that's causing an issue with me because, like, Dolly, or the woman is already in the middle of the bridge and he's on the edge of it. So how could he have waited on the bridge for her? This is the right one, right? Oh. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? Wah. Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Fay. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Mario, what? Blah. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to the special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah. It's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under the base of the tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. Wait a minute. Didn't that thing have poison in it? This little bottle on the necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. Ugh. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No! Indeed. There's certainly enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? That's enough. Please. Oh, is he poisoned? Witness? I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens, and we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink, bottle. Ugh. No, stop the trial. Your Honor, we need a recess. I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No, we are so close. Just a little more. I was gonna prove your innocence. No. Don't want that. Don't trust self. That's why they're calling a recess. You need to get medical personnel in. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Falls. Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee. Mr. Falls. And so my first trial ended suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I thought it'd never heal. Fuck, I understand being in love, but man, just... When you can't trust yourself, like, fuck. I wonder how fucked, like how fucked up Dahlia made him. If that's... It's true that it's a true Romeo and Juliet, except Juliet's a bitch. Yeah, apparently. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable, that witch. Mr. Armando. We were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're gonna make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Shit, if you can make a fucking mug's shadow like that dude must have some fucking hand muscles. Mr. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. One year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got ripped up in that case. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect, angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. Oh shit! La-la-la. Brand new episode has been added. Bridge to the turnabout. Wow. That's some seriously hefty shit. Almost 4 hours, but man. Yeah, I completely agree. Genuinely, I don't know how to like what to make of it. I'm sure like because it looked like he was in the hospital, something is gonna come up. Wait, did she come up for revenge against Phoenix? Is that why Phoenix was in the hospital? I'm sure we'll figure it out. Sorry, excuse me. Anyhow, Milo, are you gonna stream or am streaming? Milo? Sorry, I'm just gonna ask you one more time. Milo, are you gonna stream? Oh, they are. Okay. We'll raid you then. Wow. Hmm. It's gonna be a guilty raid. And if you don't got that emote, use whatever you got. I'm tired. Probably gonna go lie down right away. If this cat gets off me. But I hope everybody takes care of themselves. I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully. But yeah, sleep, eat, drink. Just generally take care of yourselves. Have a good night.